Hey everyone, thanks for joining here with John. I want to introduce what we're going to be doing here on a kind of weekly, bi-weekly basis. Today, we're going to learn all about John, his background, how he joins the company, his new role as the CEO. So we'll talk about that a little bit. And then going forward, definitely want to talk about company news, any questions people have, and a deeper dive into the properties. So please, if there's any questions, drop it below and we'll make sure it gets in here. But John, first things first, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, thanks for, it's always nice to catch up.
Oh, awesome. Well, here we're going to dive into your background. I know for anyone who hasn't gone too deep into the bios or anything else, want to do a video about you, kind of talk about some fun things maybe you did before Loncor, but usually like to kick it off kind of where you went to school, first couple jobs out of school. So going back a little bit, I think, but let me kick it off from wherever you want.
Yeah, look, I studied in the UK, and then I sort of cut my teeth in the mining business in South Africa. I was on a sort of a special careers path out there. So they had me doing weird and wonderful things like hanging on the bottom of buckets, doing mine sinking and geostatistics and anything weird and wonderful within the company, which was Anglo-American. I got involved. So it was a fantastic a way to start my experience. And then slowly I decided that I want to move more into the city type life, I suppose. And I went to the UK, got involved with a small investment bank there, and then moved, got involved in a team. The team then moved, and then the team then moved. And finally, the team landed at Royal Bank of Canada, where we essentially were the backbone of a thrust to get global mining world put together under one roof, as it were, under one model. And I was heavily involved in developing that global model for majority of mining companies around the world. So yeah, that sort of led me down that path. And while there, of course, got involved in listing companies and equity raisings and saw the world from that side, what the sales team were up to, what the trading desk did, what the bullion desk did, all of that. So again, fantastic experience, and I recommend it for anyone. But after a while, I suppose I had enough of that, and I decided to get back out into the mining world, and got involved with Southern Era, and they had a project down in South Africa, PGM project. And long story short, that got taken out by Lonmin. I sort of instigated a takeout there, and it got taken out. And then one of the directors of Lonmin was a long-term old friend, so we hooked up again. And he started a company called Guinea Gold, which was in Guinea, in West Africa. And we built that up, went through feasibility study, structured debt, etc. Then all of a sudden, a whole bunch of people decided to take a look at this, and the board decided, yeah, okay, let's look at our options. And we got 5 people down a site. 5 people bid on us, and eventually we were sold to a group out of Norway. So varied career from both sides, should we say. And then, I mean, Arnie Conrad, who was the previous CEO at Banro, I've known him for many years as an analyst. He used to come in and see me when I met RBC days. So I knew him. And then we hooked up again a couple of years ago, and he asked me if I wanted to join him in what he's doing. And since then, it's been a really fantastic ride. After 18 months as VP of Business Development, he asked me a couple of weeks ago if I wanted to take over as CEO. And I was more than glad, given all the excitement that's surrounding our story and how it's developing.
Yeah, wow. Well, we'll go into a little bit more of those details. But first, going back, curious, school in the UK to then working in Africa, like walk me through how that comes about a little bit more, if you don't mind.
Yeah, look, back then there was a lot of opportunities for mining people to go down into Africa and work, be it in Zambia and for a stage in Zimbabwe, and in my case in South Africa. So it just made sense to go down there. And as I say, the experience was second to none. So really got my hands dirty in lots of different areas, which now I think stand me in really good stead to giving me a sort of holistic approach to mining.
Interesting. No, it's crazy. I mean, a lot of people, obviously, you hear it from time to time. People, hey, pick up, go somewhere. But Obviously, it sounds like an incredible experience and obviously hot mining jurisdiction. So that's fantastic. And oh wow, what a storied resume. But going into kind of becoming the CEO of Loncor. So walk me through. Yeah. So he says, hey, are you interested? You say yes because you like the story, like the property, like the company. Kind of walk me through maybe a little bit more around that, and then tell me now, what does the day to day, week to week look like for the CEO of kind of an early mining company?
Yeah, as I say, hooked up over 18 months ago, and Ani has suggested there might be an opportunity down the line to be CEO. And we sort of thought about it, and it just made sense to make sure that I was a fit in the company and that I liked what was available, and that they liked me. It made sense that I did something else for a while and then see if it was a success. So during the last 18 months, I was heading up the business development, and in a way, the main thing was to try and rationalize the story, and then tell the investors, because we had very few investors out there. So fortunately, the story rationalized itself. It just emerged into the great story that's the Dumby deposit. And then, after the 18 months, we managed to, I think, get the story out much more effectively, given the size of our company and the market conditions. And he said, well, now it's time. He's still going to be active. I mean, a guy that's been in the DRC for over 25 years, you'd want him to keep that experience available. And he's still got great experience and still got a lot of shareholders that follow him too. So he's still going to be around. And whenever I need him, it's on the end of the phone, and we talk a few times a day. So we're going to be working closely together. But I mean, looking forward, in many ways, we've got a very short time frame. Next 3 months up to December is critical. We need to get our story out aggressively, tell people what we've got, because in my eyes, as the old analyst, if I crunch the figures on what we've got now, I'm getting some scary figures coming out. And when I say coming out, it's actually in December, we've got a scoping study coming out on our prime project, the Dumby. So that's my number one target, is to get the story out as aggressively as possible. And hopefully you guys will help us to do that. But, I've got a conference coming up in Shanghai, another one in New York, another one, which is a global conference to a bunch of journalists. So wherever possible, I'm trying to get the story out. And along with the day-to-day work of the CEO, overseeing what's going on, etc. That's my main role, is to get the story out prior to the scoping study coming out. Our market cap is just over 60 million US, which I believe is a fraction of what the scoping study is going to come out with. So let's get the story out there.
Some exciting times coming for sure. Well, going forward, obviously, we'll talk, deeper about the company timelines, what you expect to be coming over the next couple months, what people can look forward to. So lots of good things to cover, and love hearing you're going to some conferences. Sounds like you're going all over the world. Shanghai, obviously, other end, New York, mixed in a bunch of others. So we'll talk about a lot of that, and I want to invite anyone with questions. Please drop it below. John's going to be here pretty often to go over different things regarding Loncor, so should be a good time. John, anything else about your background you wanted to throw in this video?
No, just something that I had the real pleasure of spending over 6 months with a guy by the name of Rob Friedland, and Canadians will know that name. He's perhaps the most prominent entrepreneur in the mining world, and what a character. So I had the pleasure of literally sitting feet away from him for almost 6 months, a lot of the time on his jet, flying around and just watching him operate. And now, interestingly, he's doing a heck of a job in the DRC, which is the country we're in too. And I think it's great for us that investors are making a lot of money in the DRC with his Ivanhoe mines. I think they're up over 200% in the last 18 months. So a guy that I know is now helping us, hopefully, to lead investors to what we're doing. Yeah, but interesting times.
Love it. Well, that's an amazing story, and I'm sure you're gonna get a bunch of questions now that of course, you're gonna bring up his name, and love it. And I welcome all these questions. We'll make sure we're trying to get as much of them in. But John, thanks so much for joining. This was an awesome intro video.
Jason, it's always a pleasure. Look forward to catching up again soon.